Thank you. Happening now, dozens of volunteers having spent hours overnight looking for people who are living on the streets.
Yeah, this is part of an organized count that happens twice a year across the state. And Kristen Allen is live in Green Bay this morning. Kristen, what did those volunteers find?
Well, these volunteers in Brown County just wrapped up their shift a little while ago, around 4:30 this morning. They'd been out since 11 o'clock last night. And I spoke with someone from NewCap this morning, an agency who participates with this count. And what I can tell you is that they found 38 people living on the streets in Brown County overnight, that they are able to use that number in this count. The count becomes a little bit more complex because when people approach these people living on the streets, they get their demographic information. They have them take a survey. Additionally, they found 28 more people who were not easily able to be woken up or did not want to take the survey. So that number 28 is not included in the count and the number they give to federal agencies because they did not take the survey. So the picture of homelessness is actually a little broader in Brown County than just that number they were able to officially count, which is 38. And those volunteers route overnight in designated areas in Brown County looking for people living on the streets. They offer them resources to help them get back on their feet. And also they were able to give everyone they encountered tonight or overnight rather, a backpack filled with things like blankets, toiletries, and snacks. Typically, fewer people are living on the streets in the winter, and that's because overnight shelters are open. Organizers of the point-in-time count say there are a variety of factors that contribute to the growing problem of homelessness.
It truly is different for every person that you encounter. There's a stereotype out there. Everyone has substance use issues, everyone has mental health issues, they don't have income, but truly if you look at the individual, there's so many different factors. There's domestic violence, there's large family sizes, there's so many factors.
And this count doesn't just happen in Brown County, but across the state. And then again, the number of people they find directly impacts money that they are able to receive for services and resources to offer those who are homeless. The next point in time count happens in July. Reporting live in Green Bay, Kristen Allen, Action 2 News.